Hey, it's Philip here. You're very welcome to today's Digital Spark. I'm moving on to content in my digital marketing framework, but today I want to particular focus on GEO and AEO. Now, GEO stands for Generative Engine Optimization and AEO stands for Answer Engine Optimization. These are the new terms in the world of website optimization that have come to the fore because we are starting to see a shift where people now, where they used to Google for answers to the questions, they're now going to Chat GPT and putting in questions, and it's Chat GPT that's coming back with the answers. So we need to be starting to prepare our websites for Chat GPT, all of the LLMs to be now accessing our web and hopefully recommending our business and services when they are asked particular questions. Now, from a GEO point of view, this is focusing on authority and context by way of what you put on your site, and AEO is around the accuracy and clarity, the answers. So some of these tips that I've started to learn and employ will cover off both GEO and AEO for you. Now, the first tip is use the answer first rule. So ultimately, if you're writing blog posts that ultimately are answering questions for your target audience, make sure that you put the answer at the very start. So for an example, from my point, if I'm writing a blog about prompting and how to get the best prompts, the answer to that would be to use my SCORE framework. So I'll make sure that at the start of that blog, I say the best way to get results is use my SCORE framework. And then I go on and explain what that is. The next thing is you want to kind of write in blocks, nice paragraphs, rather than one big huge piece of text. The AI is not going to review that. You also want to incorporate H2 and H3 headings, and ideally those headings should be questions. They should be relevant questions that your target audience would be asking. I would also be suggesting using bullet points. It makes it easy for the AI to scan and read content from bullets, and even lists. AI likes lists from what I have seen. I would also start in your content to use proofing words. So for example, if you are, let's just say, a solar panel company and you have written a blog about the power of solar, how it can reduce costs, don't just say that our customers in Ireland love the reductions we have saved them in solar panels. Start to use figures. 90% of our customers based in Dublin in 2026 said we saved them X amount of euro off their electricity bill. Once again, you're kind of putting those sort of authority and proofing points that the AI will utilize as being, this must be good content, this will be part of the answer I give back. Then you want to look at what's known as schema. Now, the simple way to look at what schema is, if you think of, say, your food label, you will read the label to see what's in the ingredients and what's part of the contents of the box, the jar. It's the same for your website. Schema is like the label for your website. It tells ChatGPT what your website is about, some of the key kind of information that it needs to focus on, that it allows then to determine whether it should show your site as being an authority site and a suggestion back in answering the question. And one of the tips that I've seen that I'm starting to try and employ, I've started this on one of my downloadable ebooks for my SCORE prompt framework, is to add FAQs at the bottom of the page. So I've added 3 FAQs. They are very much kind of questions which I believe a target audience who want to learn more about prompting would ask, and I've put answers there. But the best way, I suppose, to explain the schema and show you is, let's go over to my website and I'll show you a number of things that I have done to really make this area very clear. Okay, so I'm here on my prompting guide page, and as you can see here, I've put in the frequently asked questions. And what I essentially did was I got Google Gemini to create a schema for those FAQs, and you can see it here. So I have that embedded on my site, but as you can see, it's obviously invisible to a visitor. So a couple of things we need to do. First of all, what we have to do is we have to go to search.google.com test rich results. This just makes sure that my page supports these rich results. This schema is working so that the AI can read it. So I put in my website here. We'll test the URL. It should all work, and I get a green tick to say that we are in good stead. Okay, so we have a green light. valid item detected. That's good news. The next thing you want to come to this website, validator.scheme.org. You're going to take your website, you're going to put it in here. This is just, once again, making sure that there's no errors on your schema. And see here, I have no errors, I have no warnings, so that's all perfect. The next thing what you want to do is you would right click on your website here and you'd go view page source, and you'll see the view page source here, and then you would go Control F and you'd look for ID plus JSON. So you want to make sure that this is here on your site, and you can see it up here that it is here within the schema, so everything is working correctly. Now what I did was, and I can put this in the final blog, I created in Google AI Studio this Geo Schema Forge, so an ability to paste content in here, analyze it, look at it from an LLM extractability and fact density rating based on the content, and essentially generate 3 questions that I could put as part of my FAQ. So this tool essentially is taking content and coming up with what it believes would be the best FAQ questions for that content. So I can share this on the blog when I have it live. And the final step was I asked Chat GPT to visit this page and tell me about the prompting framework, just to see if it cites and what does it review. And the great thing is that it really worked very well. It reviewed not only the fact that I had a prompting guide, but it got the full framework correct, as you can see. And then if I scroll down and look at sources, it's also, from a citation point of view, has listed both of mine at the very top. So this is great news, and it shows that my schema has worked. Now the final thing you want to be doing is obviously creating what's known as an LLMs.txt file. Your webmaster will be able to help you with this. But essentially what this is, it's a simple text file done in a language called Markdown. This is what the AI can understand. And if you think of this, this is like a synopsis of what your site is about, services you offer, key information, etc. So it allows the AI to get a really good understanding as to what your business and service offering is. Now, one thing that I do want to stress is that AEO and GEO, these should not replace your traditional SEO methods, your inbound, your outbound, your technical, and your local SEO. You still need to be optimizing your website for keywords, for what people are searching for, using those keywords on all of those relevant pages. You want to make sure that your alt tags are in place on images. You want to make sure that you have your meta descriptions, you're using H1, H2, H3, proper page titles. You want to make sure you're creating content that other thought leadership sites want to link back to you. And you might even be able to still try and maybe do some guest blogging, guest posts on some of those thought leader sites. From a technical aspect, you still need to be submitting your sitemap to Google, and page speed, website load speed is still hugely critical. And don't forget, if you're a local business, local SEO, make sure your Google business profile is up to date, reviews, maps, etc. So AEO, GEO, it's not just a sort of a forget your other SEO. This is all just an add-on. So I hope you found today's Digital Spark useful. All my other Digital Sparks are up there on the website philiptwyford.com. And until next time, take care.